So, Andor continued on with Adhani, the fourth episode. And, the first three all run together. Had they had not been put out at the same time, it might have been, just too slow going, but all at once, it's like, so the first three was actually the pilot episode for everything, because Adhani, well, there's an actual mission. So, as I said in the previous one, Andor, Cassian, he is now in the rebellion. He just didn't know it. And in this episode, he finds out he's in the rebellion. So now he knows it. He was recruited for this purpose, and there's this plot afoot by this small band. And there you go. And but it's all very slow going, and yet it's setting up the major players who form up the rebellion in the background. So Mon Mothma makes her appearance here, and we see all of that. And once again, it's all very well shot. The actors are on point, and it's basically it cuts back and forth. So you go to Coruscant, and that's where she is, and the guy who I'm forgetting his name, who recruited Andor. He's on Coruscant. He has a dual identity and all this sort of stuff, and he wears a disguise, and he's wheeling and dealing all of this in secret, because if they are found out, they're all dead. And so, okay, fine, well and good. And it's giving some of the details of life as it is there. Mall Cop is still burning with wanting revenge against this mysterious Andor character. So he's still around. Well, and obviously he would be, and we'll see his journey, I suppose. So you have him and Andor's. At least with him, we don't quite know where it ends. With Andor, we do, because of Rogue One, but we're seeing how he became involved with the rebellion and all that. And then, of course, there's still, where's his sister? And perhaps there'll be some woman. Maybe we've already met her. There's a woman in this group, but I don't know. And, of course, ultimately, typical Disney, I'm thinking, the sister's still alive, so she'll carry on even though Andor's dead, and that sort of thing. I'm just hoping they don't all of a sudden, like, she got a new name, and what's your name? And she says, Jade. Mara Jade. Yeah. So anyway, it's well orchestrated. It's just very, very slow. It is very far removed from Star Wars. You get some more TIE fighters in this one. In that, I don't think it needed to be this slow, and it's going to run for 12 episodes. This is one you probably could have cut it to 6. And certainly, for the life of me, don't understand why they didn't just pair him up with the android from Rogue One, because that really would have made an entertaining show. And it's still going to be a heist of some sort. That's their plot and their plan. And he still could have done that, like he steals the droid and all that, but whatever. And I think again, for all the flaws in just the pacing of it, would be forgiven in this darker and more stripped down version of Star Wars. Would be forgiven as this interesting little experiment, had the rest of the Star Wars product be so good, or at least adequate, instead of the destruction that Disney did with it. So, but that's not the case. So a lot of these things becomes a bit more annoying than it ordinarily would. Maybe not. Maybe just say, I'm just not into this one. I'll catch, Boba Fett or Obi-Wan or whatever. But the problem is they're not in a position to fool around. So it's probably going to suffer from that, even though a lot of these are aspects that isn't the show's fault within itself. So it's interesting. He's dropped in the middle of this group. And that's the one that's a bit of a stretch as to why the guy thought that this is the man we need. And they're right on the verge of their team to do this mission, and he's just dropped in it at the last minute to join it. It's a bit much. They need a little something extra. Is why is this guy so special? Because it's not really there. Unless he had some particular skill with which to access this place they're going to raid and all that. But it's just he's a badass, and he's not afraid to kill, and so that's a bit of a flaw, I think, in that. But yeah, after sitting through Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, oh my God, Obi-Wan, what they did to Obi-Wan, easily this is better than that, but that's not much of a great metric. So it's shuffling along. It's 12 episodes, and they are dragging it out. So we'll see where it goes.